Yo, how's everybody doing today? Welcome to the Festy Hub Podcast. I'm your host, Manny, aka Frisky Hug. So it looks like when this releases, people are going to be traveling to Imagine Music Festival. So if you're listening to this on the way there, whether you're driving, flying, thank you so much for tuning in. This is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We got this on SoundCloud. Hey, you're probably watching this on YouTube. For today's episode, we have Sean. He's one of the owners of SynchroEvents. SynchroEvents was actually the first company to throw technically the first festival in the United States. It was called Synchro Fest in Florida. It was a little smaller, so not many people really knew about it, but I think it happened about a week before Ubby Dubby. So we bring him in, we talk about him, his life, how he came to, make SynchroEvents happen and how that whole thing became a thing. But before we get started with our episode today, we are going to do our 4 shoutouts of the week. So number 1 is for a content creator, and this is going to go to my girl, Maria. Her IG is Chubby Wubby. And just a reminder, per usual, all of these shoutouts will be in the description below on every platform. So Maria had been really stepping up her game on Reels. She's like the master of Reels right now. She is so creative. She's really kind of stepped out of her comfort of just doing pictures and putting herself out in videos and stuff. And they are so good. She does a really good job editing those videos. She does a really good job coming up with ideas. She also came up with a Freedom Ravewear collab clothing line. Super happy that she did that. She's so creative, and I love that her artwork is being displayed in many ways and many forms. I just got back from North Coast Festival, and everybody and their mothers was wearing her line. It was so awesome to see because I love her. We support her. Go give her a follow. Go check her out. Number 2 is going to go to a DJ or producer. This one's going to go to my boy Stryer. He's a Colorado local. I'm shouting him out because he is actually under Bear Grylls management as of I think 6 months ago or something like that. But he's been under his management for a bit. Believe he's come up with a few new songs. Super impressive guy. I've known him for about 2 or so years. And he's just been killing the game. He's been secretly he's been kind of quiet, but how one of my friends used to say, the strong move quiet because, first time for one of the first times I see him, he's on stage with Bear Grylls over at the Mission Ballroom. And I was like, where did this come from? This guy came out of nowhere. He's been quiet, but he's making moves for sure. Definitely go check him out. Stryer Music on IG. All right, so number 3 is going to go to a business company or brand. This is going to go to my Life Tap Media crew. They're good friends of mine. They do a lot of media stuff throughout Denver, sometimes Utah. Sometimes they fly out and do a lot of stuff. They honestly do such great work between their pictures and their recaps. Their recaps are honestly pretty badass. During COVID, they really did a lot of work with the drive-in raves. And they really sought any way or form of working through this through their media company. And go check out their page. It's LifeTap_media. They do a lot of good stuff on there. All right. Number 4 is going to go to a supportive friend or follower. And this one's going to go to my rave mom, Tess. She goes by OG Candy Kid 303. She is also, wow, now I'm realizing there's 3 Denver locals here. Well, Colorado locals here. So yeah, Tess is my rave mom. We're both from Colorado. We took a liking to each other. I think we met in Florida at Forbidden Kingdom. I think that was the first time we met. She's super cool, super nice. She's been so good to me. Between always allowing me to join her rave squad, and whenever I'm going solo, she's like, come on in, I got you. Even when I have my own crew, she's like, here's an extra wristband, you're coming with me. She's usually in VIP areas and stuff, and she's always got the hookup. I don't know. I want to really shout her out because she means a lot to me. She's been such a great person to me, and I think she deserves this shout out. The support and love that she has shown me has not gone unnoticed. Tess, if you're listening to this, know that I love you and thank you for everything you do. You're amazing. I love you. All right, guys. So that was our 4 shout outs of the week. Go check all of those 4 IGs out. And let's get started with the podcast. All right. So I'd like to welcome Sean from SynchroEvents to the podcast. Sean, how's it going, man?
Really good, dude. Really good. Coming off a crazy high at EZU. So I'm feeling really good.
Yeah, but like I bet, man. Everybody was at EZU and North Coast and ARC and Lost in Dreams. It was such a crazy weekend.
Yeah. What is ARC? I'm not familiar with that one.
ARC is a house and techno festival in Chicago.
Yeah. Which is supposed to be like the originators, right? I thought it came from Europe, but then I saw a documentary on Netflix about how it originated in Chicago, then went out to Europe, and then became bigger there. Do you know anything about that?
I am tracking an ARC worldwide, I think it's called, or ARC something in Europe. There's an ARC in Europe, and I think it was brought to the US. I don't think it originated in the US. Maybe it did. I don't know. I'm not. This is like questions more for like a techno thought, not me. Like I'm just roaming the world, man. But Sean, so people can kind of know who you are and stuff like that. Give the people an intro.
Yeah. So my name is Sean Mcconaughey. I started my first festivals actually 5 years ago, Electric Zoo. So like 5 years ago to this weekend was Electric Zoo. And at that time, the festival experience of Electric Zoo itself wasn't that like groundbreaking, but the set that I saw that weekend was really 2 of them. And it was Elenium and Porter Robinson. And those 2 sets, like, I think prior to that, I like saw EDM and raving as like an escape. So actually, let me go back a little further. So my first passion and interest was film, and it still is film and cinema. That's what excites me the most. And because of it not being, too much of a financial like opportunity, the way my parents saw it, it's more of an art. It's more something that, you want to do on your personal time and not as a career, being a filmmaker.
Right.
They had me go into computer science because I was guaranteed a really good job with my uncle outside of college once I graduated in computer science. But I couldn't do that. Like I couldn't really do something that I wasn't passionate about. So I dropped out of school and just went into this like really like from the period of when I dropped out when I was like 19 to like 22, I was just like so lost, and like I got really depressed and like really just anxiety, depression. It was just like a really dark period. And that's when I started to rave. And it started right here. I live like blocks away from Webster Hall now. I don't know if you know Webster Hall.
I do know Webster Hall. They had the rail break, right? Is that the Webster Hall? Yeah. If you don't know Webster Hall by now, where the hell have you been?
Opening night was the rail break. Yeah.
Everyone heard about Webster Halls, and I don't even live there. So.
Yeah. I don't know. It kind of like boosted them a bit, I think, that rail break.
Definitely gave them, definitely like a little promo at their venue. So good for them.
Yeah. And no such thing as bad publicity, right?
Yeah, exactly. Any publicity at this point is good because COVID really kind of fucked everybody up, So at this point, people are like, dude, Webster Hall's back, like now people know. They were questioning it. Now they know. So a little bit more about yourself, man. Did you end up going to film school?
So that's the thing. No, I did not go to film school because I thought I could. I think every filmmaker that I loved and I followed did it on their own, just started writing screenplays and started directing. So that's what I did. But so I wrote and directed a couple shorts after dropping out. And what I realized is like, I could write a good script. I could learn to shoot, learn to edit, learn all of that. But if if I didn't know how to get it in front of eyeballs, if I couldn't like, I didn't know anything about like, I did all the writing, the directing. I was good at that, but I didn't know like once I was done, I didn't know how to show it to people. So that's when it got like really like, okay, what am I going to do with my life now? Because I couldn't get it anywhere. It was just like I was just very, very lost at that point. And yeah, and from that period when I stopped making films to discovering raving is like that like junction of like finding something I wanted to create around, and then something that I could do in the meantime that could actually, make me money.
Yeah.
Which is, of course.
Have you made money like filming at festivals?
Festivals, yes and no, like not as much. I think I'm like finally starting to get the connections there, but like because of that, because I had like a reel to show people, then I started getting work out here in the city of just doing commercial stuff. So like that stuff, like just being able to shoot something and like putting my name on it and getting it out there and like sending it out to people, that like, that's what.
Getting personal exposure and just putting yourself out there, and something that's gonna be very hard. Like just there's such a like it's so competitive, right? People are trying to get all their stuff seen all the time, right? So it's just super competitive. But I mean, film is something that every DJ is looking for, every festival is looking for. I mean, it should be pretty easy as long as you meet the right people. And like a lot of the stuff at the festival, in the festival scene, it's about who you know. Like honestly, I took up photography for the duration of like most of COVID. I took up photography. Like, you know what, man, I'm gonna start like taking pictures. And I don't know how to take pictures. But it's about who I know. I know everyone. So they're like, they're gonna give me the opportunity to take pictures. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, so I work for free, and then I work for money. And then like now I kind of stopped because I'm so overwhelmed. Now that festivals are back, I'm like, dude, I can't even like I can't go from doing 3 days at a festival, vlogging the festival, doing podcasts, and then think that I'm gonna go and take pictures for a DJ at a festival. It's just too much for me right now. Right. I obviously have the right network to take pictures at a festival. I am choosing not to. It's just I have other things going on. It's harder than it looks. People think that you just grab a camera, you just press record, or just take pictures. It's not that easy. Right. Especially when you got to edit those pictures, like videos. Do you edit all your own stuff?
Yes. Yeah. The editing it's very time consuming. Yeah.
Well, what do you use to edit?
Premiere.
Okay.
After Effects, I want to learn, but I'm not. Yeah, I don't do any After Effects work yet. I'm just in Premiere. But Premiere is a fucking it's great.
Yeah, definitely. After Effects is it's a lot to learn too. There's so much that goes into that. So where are you originally from? New York?
I'm from Long Island.
Long Island?
Baldwin, 516. Yeah.
516.
That's a 516.
Yeah. And then you started SynchroEvents, or you started with a couple people? Like, what is SynchroEvents?
Yeah, so SynchroEvents. So last I guess last year when COVID started is like I remember I went down to work at Ultra, and I remember being like getting down to Miami, being so excited, like finally this is taking off, like my videography within this niche is gonna, start growing. And then that's when the shutdown like just closed down, the beaches shut down, everything just went quiet. And that's when like, so that's the thing that I kind of noticed is I got really, really passionate about EDM and festivals. And that's like what my creativity was hinging on, was EDM and raving, because I got like so just this community and the plur
aspect.
Just so like just really just shattering in a lot of ways, because it's just like I had so much like pressures in my head that I realized were very much external, you know what I mean? Like what society kind of gives you as the template for how you're supposed to live your life. You have to succeed at this, or you know, it's very like externally focused of you got to do
Well,
this.
also like it's also based on like
get this job, get married.
yeah, it's based on family too, like how you were raised. And like I was raised differently too. When I told my mom that I wanted to pursue, the festival industry, she's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. Yep. I hear that a lot.
Yeah,
it's like what you like. I heard someone all right, so this is a weird thing to go into now because I'm like still writing it, but I'm writing a feature film about, it's a love story about two people that go to festivals and fall in love with each other and the scene, and it's called The Love That You Know. And it's a lyric from I Remember from Cascade and Deadmau5.
Yeah.
And I started like being like, okay, how am I just want to finish, because that's what I just want to write and shoot screenplays. Like that's what I really want to do. And I didn't know like where to take it. And I was just like, kind of like, okay, I'm kind of like feeling a little bit, is this the right thing to be doing right now? And then yesterday at Electric Zoo, I overheard a conversation with two people, and this guy kept saying that line, and he didn't do it like, it wasn't referencing the song or anything, but he kept saying like, it's the love that you know. And he was talking about referencing to your parents, like
right 100%
is the love that you know now, because like their relationship, between mother and father, that's the love that and if they had a broken love relationship, you're gonna have like kind of a broken love relationship, and you're gonna project that into your
or at least a perception of what that is.
Right. Your perception of love and all that. So, and like just hearing that conversation just started igniting all these ideas again about where I could take that idea.
Yeah, now you're thinking, oh, for my next film, this is like, okay.
Right. So it's just funny how that happens. And that's so that idea, coming back to Synchro, finally, is SynchroEvents is the idea of synchronicity, which is that everything, Carl Jung had this quote that there's no such thing as a coincidence. Like everything kind of happens for you, and it's supposed to, like everything that you're thinking about is coming back to you, and it's all synchronized. Every person you meet was there because of a thought or something. It was some creative action that led you to that. And that's what I really feel every time I go to a festival. There's just so much synchronicities that kind of line up. And going to raves is what kind of started that line of just opening up of creativity. And it happens, I see it at these raves, like a lot of the time, just they come to one of our shows and they come up afterwards and they have like these ideas about what they want to do, like with their own business or their own like music, or like there's so much, like it's really just really cool, because I never thought I would be organizing any shows to this extent. That never popped up in my head until COVID happened and they didn't exist anymore. And we were very careful during COVID. I wasn't a type of person, I just wanted to fucking
throw an underground festival.
That we did. That one we did, like underground festival. That happened.
Well, I mean, it was underground for the world, but I mean, Florida was kind of like, one of the only states that was like, do whatever the hell you guys want, right? So I mean, technically you weren't breaking any rules per se. I mean, whatever.
Right. It was legal down there, and it was like we did it like small enough where and it was outdoors where it wasn't
100%
Asian problem.
Well, the big thing you said is outdoors, and people they can't grasp the idea that, dude, everyone's outdoor. It's okay. That's like you walking down the damn street and someone doesn't have their mask on. Are you gonna yell at them? No, you just keep walking.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing, I mean, the thing that for me, the summer going into COVID, last year, to get a little personal, my uncle committed suicide, right? Because of the lockdown. Like he had a mental illness and he just got out of the hospital. And so he literally got out of a lockdown situation just to be locked down by the world. So like me, when there was really nothing going on, culturally, like you can go to a movie theater, you can go to raves, like there was no communal experience. Like that lack, I think, could be very dangerous itself outside of the virus. Like the news didn't talk about as much, but the rates of suicide and
100% went up.
overdoses, yes, went up very, very much so during the pandemic. And what the rates that went down were actually CO2 emissions, which I think a lot about. It's not on the news much, but it's like that lockdown, like the period where humans just kind of took a break for a year. We weren't polluting as much. We probably saved the earth a lot of time, or at least ourselves on it a lot of time because of the virus. So it's like there's obviously a lot of negative components of the virus, but it's like there is stuff to look at where it's like this virus is very natural. It's not something to be so afraid of to me. It's just like death is very natural. I've had to overcome that and face that. It's a natural part of the human experience.
Yeah.
The virus, it's a balancing act for the earth. I think, it's just a natural response to overhuman activities. So it's like, I know like in a lot of ways that was justifying doing a festival during the pandemic, but for me, I didn't have a choice. I was naturally compelled to do it. So that's why we did it.
I mean, I will say there was a lot of talk, especially like, on Twitter and about like, these events going on. And dude, I was talking to Aspen about it. I was talking to her about it like offline about how COVID tore this community like into like two. Like there was two sides to like our community, and it was either you were super about masks, staying indoors, or you were about like, things are gonna happen as they are. We're being safe. We're doing our best. Right. Whatever. We were divided into, and I hate it because like it literally took out the worst part of us. Like we showed our ugly sides during this entire pandemic, and I didn't like it. I think that we were all in this together, and I think that during this pandemic we decided to turn against each other, right? So if you went to your Synchro events, all of a sudden there was like tags like crazy about whoever went to Synchro events, you're just a trash human being, you're disgusting. I'm like, and then you see them at UBW. I'm like, you just said this, and next week you're at UBW.
Yeah.
That's not how life works. You can't, oh my God. I have a lot to say about that kind of stuff, but karma is a bitch. And if you were like,
we had like a little over like 100 people at Synchro Fest. There was like, I don't know how many people. It must have been a good, I think it was estimated, like 70,000, 80,000 at UBW, probably more than that even.
Dude, it was bad.
Yeah. Which I'm not like, I was there. You know what I mean? Like,
I know, that's where we met.
Yeah. I'd say some pictures. I have some great pictures of you and me.
Show you. Definitely send them at some point, man. I remember taking a picture with Kat at in that VIP section, and I wanted to post some of them, but Kat is so Kat, and I had to like censor where her boobies go because I don't know where her pasties went. And she DMs me. She's like, was I what do you call it? It's a titty flop. No, that's nip slip. She's like, was that a nip slip? I'm like, it sure was. I'm like, doing my best. Oh, 100%. And I was like, I can't post this, but I put it like in my story, and I covered her like, area with like butterflies and stuff.
Yeah, she had a butterfly outfit on.
She did. Yeah, but it was above her area. Because she'd be like this, and it was like, I'm like, oh fuck, man, I can't use any of these pictures. I mean, I could use those pictures, but that just isn't. I don't want to put that kind of stuff on my I mean, IG.
The emojis could be effective.
I could, yeah. I don't want to get my page banned.
This is not TikTok. TikTok is pretty bad with that.
Dude, I can't post anybody even with pasties on. I don't even risk it, dude. At that point, I posted a video of me twerking at EDC Orlando, and I got taken down immediately. I'm like, dude, I'm like not even like twerking naked or anything. Me twerking with full pants on. I think just doing a little funny thing, right? Taken down, and I'm like. So this is why, like, I don't even put girls with pasties that I hang out with. So like, if there's like a video with me and a girl with pasties on, there's no way I'm making a video out of it. It's just like, it was nice seeing you.
If they were concerned about that, they would have like an age limit, because like there's like 16-year-olds that are just like half naked a lot of the time, and You know what I mean? Like TikTok has to have some kind of
Yeah, you would think. I'm like, I
Okay.
know for a fact I look at my insights and none of that stuff shows up in little kids' pages. Like I have 0% of people that are under 18
on TikTok.
on TikTok. TikTok and Instagram, dude, my range is from I think like 25 to like 35. It's like my range for both. Like
Wow.
it's just a very even range. And then like my genders are split almost 50-50. It's like 60-40 sometimes, depending on like whatever. I tend to have more guys on my pages than girls. And I think that has to do with like the whole, I'm like a male, like clothing expert or whatever. I'm always like, people follow me for like rave clothes ideas and stuff, which is super funny though, because
great.
I went to a global dance festival and I wore an outfit and I posted about it maybe like 4 times. I went to North Coast and I literally swear to God, I saw like 10 people with that outfit.
Wow.
It was like,
look at you, Frisky, starting trends.
Fucking free promos over here, free promos.
So you tagged the fit? Who was it by?
It was an Amazon fit.
It was an Amazon fit.
Yeah.
Oh man, got to tag Amazon.
No, I wore an IEDM outfit twice. Amazon. But Amazon be getting fucking rich anyways off of me. Like, I hate throwing money at them, but god damn it, like if it's gonna get, I don't know when I'm going to a festival. Sometimes it's like last minute, like when you had your Synchro event festival, I almost went the day before. Like legit almost took a flight and I was gonna
I would love to see you there.
I know, and like I just couldn't justify spending, like the flights was like $500. Like I can't justify spending $500.
Like because we had a lot of people from, I mean, our crowd's in New York, so we had a lot of people from New York wanted to go, and then for some reason, I mean, yeah, it was still Miami Music Week, so a lot of people like the flights just went.
Oh, was it really? Okay.
Yeah, it was the same week.
Oh, and that's why then, I guess, because like
I saw, because it was like Ultra was like the thing, you know what I mean? Like it was every year it was Ultra, and there's just that gap there. So to me, it was just like an opportunity we had to go after. I mean, it did not work out, but.
So what's SynchroEvents composed of? Is it just you? Who's like all on the team?
It's me, my best friend Blada.bc. Shout out Blada. He's a model out here in New York.
Oh yeah.
Rob. So we're co-CEOs, me and Blada. Rob's our COO. Then we have Little Rave Girl. I don't know if you know Anita, Little Rave Girl.
Yeah, probably that. I don't like to say whether I know somebody or not, because then I do know them and I feel like a complete dick for remembering.
She said she's seen you, I think, online.
See, this is what I get. Then yes, I do know her. I can never. God, I hate being me sometimes, because like I get asked that question, like, do you know so and so, and I got asked that at ARC. I think it was Lauren Hutzel. She's like, oh, do you know her? What's her? No, it was Mcconaughey. She goes, do you know so and so? I'm like, should I know them? Like, do I know them? I don't know. Do I? Did they say something? Did they say they knew me? Because then yes, then I do know them.
Yeah. Weird situation. It's like, do you pretend to know them? And then it's like you can't, like, you don't really make those connections about like they say something like, oh yeah, remember when this happened? Just like, oh my god, I just really don't right now.
I know faces sometimes more than I know names.
Or is it weirder to ask their name and ask like where you know them from? Because I'm like, yes, weird.
I get reminded all the time though on like my DMs. They're like, hey, I don't know if you remember me, and like they'll remind me, right? Because like most of the people are really nice and they assume that I just don't remember, because you know, if I'm meeting like 100 people a day, it's kind of hard to remember who you are. But then they'll be like, oh, you gave me candy at this place at this time. Like, bet. Like, you know what's funny is I actually do remember a lot of people who I give candy to. If we trade candy, for some reason my brain remembers you. I don't know what it is, and I think it's like I'm creating a moment, and I think I'm remembering you through a moment. I think that's what happens. So if a lot of the times when someone says like, oh, you gave me candy, and then they name where, I'm like, I do know you. But if they tell me, oh, I bumped into you, do you know how many people I've bumped into? A lot of people, especially like in lines to a festival. If I'm like in line, I make friends like that. It's just
no, that's very, very true. Because like someone that saw me at the rail at Ubby said that they saw me, but I didn't remember them. But then someone else that I traded candy with, I instantly remembered. So that's very, it's very, very true.
Yeah.
Candy with someone, it's just like, yeah, that. And then you see it afterwards. You see it.
And then if they give me if they give me like a perler, even better. In fact, if you give me anything, I probably remember you. So SynchroEvents, man. So when was the first Synchro event? Was it the one during that Miami week, right? Or was it?
That was our second. So our first one was
Oh, so it was the one before that too?
there was one event before that. It was called Chop 'em Up, and it was so this is where it's a little controversial. That was last year Halloween when
Okay.
New York was shut down. New York was way shut down. But I started, for work, I started taking videography jobs at underground raves because I needed work and unemployment was for freelancers was nothing. You know what I mean? It's not much. So I started taking a free. I don't know how deep I want to talk about what happened.
I know, without getting political.
Yeah, or political. So I started working with this rave company, right? Who they started throwing raves out here, underground raves in New York. And this dude, I'm not gonna even mention anything. He was in some ways killing it because there was no one else doing it.
Yeah.
He had the city by the balls, really, because everyone was going to him because you're young, you're in New York, you want to go out. Like, let's be real, like people are gonna go out regardless. So
dude, 100%.
Charging, a shit ton for just.
Oh my God. Okay. I have a story to tell you after this.
Standing on a table, no production, nothing. Yep. Charging a shit ton for tickets. And then it was also a hidden racket for him to sell drugs and all this. So I started working like kind of close with this guy. The more that I learned about him, the more I realized this guy is not a part of this community. He has no idea what rape, no idea about the culture, no idea about EDM, and yet
he's there to make money.
People, he's just trying to make money, and people don't know, people don't realize what's going into what this company is. And I learned all this stuff because of how oddly close I got with what was happening. He went down to Miami and on a bender for 3 days, came back on no sleep, had 200 and 300 people that RSVP'd to his event and had no venue, no DJs, nothing. It was like 10, 11 o'clock at night. He's hitting me up. Where can I go? Can I go on your rooftop? Ended up getting a party bus that same night, throwing some DJ up there. And while, we could see he had the RSVPs, he couldn't lose the money, whatever. He did that. Somehow he never got arrested in all this. Driving home on no sleep, he veers off the road, hits a woman in his car.
Oh shit!
Almost hits the kid that's with her. She loses a leg, and
oh shit!
Yeah, and then after this all happened, and then he's still somehow, I don't know. This is the legal system because I think his parents have money. I don't know what exactly.
Yeah.
He gets off. He's right back out. He's right back, throwing raves again, and at that moment, I completely disconnected myself because also
you don't want to be a part of. Yeah.
No. Even, I don't care about, the videography, whatever. Like, I don't care about that. The money, like you can't work with someone like that. And all these articles came out about him, about how he was torturing old girlfriends that took out restraining orders against him, like was really very abusive. Like had her tied up, was punching her. I looked at all this old stuff about him. Very scary character, but he still had a lot of people fooled into what he's doing. So that's when I decided that I wanted to throw something because this was just insane. So we did a show called Chop 'em Up last Halloween, and we're about to do the sequel this Halloween in New York. We're talking with a few artists now, but it was in a huge
wow, it's just
warehouse. That was our first.
And it's crazy because like you don't want to consider these guys part of the community, right? But if they're being like followed and they're being inspired by other people, like unfortunately they become part of this toxic part of the community where even the community that doesn't believe in plur, doesn't believe in half of the shit, right? And it brought me back to here in Colorado. So I live in Colorado and stuff. And you were talking about how he like, basically like monopolized like, the events. Well,
Yep.
we had a couple people here that monopolized the events here as well. We were like 3 people that basically took charge and like
During COVID or
during COVID. Yeah, during COVID. They were like doing underground stuff, this and this, like, hush hush. And they were doing, one guy decided to just like do drive-in raves, right? When they were a hit, drive-in raves here in Colorado, they were great. But there was a lot of issues with traffic and stuff like that. I spent 2 hours in line getting my car checked. I missed half of the goddamn show. I get only see 3 hours left. I'm like, dude, this is ridiculous. I'm like, bro, come on. They're like, you basically had to show up super early just to get those 2 hours out of the way at the beginning of the sets, right? So the beginning of the show. I don't know what it was, and I don't want to talk shit because I think me and this guy are cool. His name is Denver's Dom.
Okay.
He's the one that monopolized like, the festival scene and stuff like that here in Colorado for like the driving raves. And bro, I don't know what it was. So the security kicked me out of an event here, and they said that he kicked me out. He was the reason he didn't want me there, right? So like, this is why like I'm trying not to talk shit, because this shit comes back to bite me in the ass later on, and it's like I do this to myself, you know what I mean? But
he kicked you out. Why?
They didn't say why. They said that he wanted me out of the club. They wanted me out of the venue, right? So like, this is what happens when you start talking shit about people and their production and like their events. This is why I try to be a little more conservative about how
at that time, if it's deserved,
I thought it was deserved, like, right? About I was talking shit about the 2 hour times and stuff like that, and I was like, hey, like, this is ridiculous, etc. I don't feel like I said anything too crazy to the point where I got kicked out for, though. He claims that he didn't kick me out, right? But the security guards say otherwise, which is so weird. I'm like, I don't understand that. Like, everything's super confusing. Security guards, like all 5 of them said that he kicked me out. He's claiming that he didn't. And I'm like, is this like some kind of weird vendetta thing? I don't know. But for New Year's, this guy raised the prices of the tickets by double. So the tickets were originally for front row were $600 for one car. You could fit 5 people. He made it $1,200 for 5 people to see what one artist like Zoo was playing. And I'm like, this is like ridiculous. And this, he didn't sell out like those tickets at all. Nobody could afford to go. So really, if you think about it, he doubled the price, but only half the people went. So really, you didn't really change anything. Like,
yeah,
all you got to do was make less people go. That's all that happened. Less people went.
More people just couldn't go. Like, couldn't afford to go.
You would have made more money with all the vending stuff over like, but you decided to like, whatever. I don't want to talk too much shit. This shit's already
he wasn't. So at least he wasn't. So he was just doing drive-ins though. He wasn't doing. He was just doing these.
No, there was another company that did that though, and he was like cramming people in.
I mean, at least, yeah. I mean, COVID wise, whatever.
It was at least safer and stuff like that. So you take like the safe route. No legal actions were taken at least. But he did monopolize it because he wasn't allowing like other people to do drive-in raves at that event.
You gotta put on production in a drive-in, right? I mean, you gotta have a legitimate.
Yeah, but he wasn't letting any other like festival promoters take the venue. So whenever he'd hear like somebody taking, whenever he'd hear that somebody's trying to take the venue for like a holiday, he'd be like, "Oh, actually, I'm doing a holiday one now," and he would take the spot because he had priority for that venue because he was close knit with like the people who run the venue. So nobody could like do it as well. And then there
must be some other spots, Colorado, right?
They were, and he would like dog on them and like he would like blast them on social media that they're doing a terrible job, this and this. I'm like, that's so funny that like you can't. You can dish it out, but you can't take it, right? Like when people dog on your events, you get all upset, but then you're over here dogging other, festival promoters for doing an event somewhere else. And then like, but at least it was all driving related, right? There were other people who were doing like actual raves during COVID, like not okay raves and stuff like that. And one of the guys in particular, I won't say his name because I don't want to give him free clout, nothing like that. Completely blocked on all socials for me at least. He was not paying anybody during these events. No DJ was getting paid.
That was the same situation out here. Yeah.
He was just racking money. And then I told people, I'm like, hey, like, I haven't been paid for like 2 of my photo gigs from this guy. Don't trust him. He's not paying. You know, like if you're going to work with him, get a contract because this guy's not legit. And eventually everyone started turning on him. And now he's completely canceled. Like he can't play a fucking show.
Yeah.
Ever. I'm telling you.
This guy. Yeah.
He fucked it up, you know, and he could have done so well, right?
No.
He could have done great. He decided to ruin every connection that he had. And I'm like backstage at one of the raves / festivals here in Colorado. And I see him like on the rail and stuff. I'm like, bro, you see where I'm at? This could have been you. Like you could have been back here with all of us, but you decided to fuck up your name, fuck up your brand, steal from people. For what? What did that do for you? Nothing. What? Maybe that helped you pay rent for 2 months. What you do, bro? In the long run, you fucked yourself, right? And that and
that's always the case. Like that's what was happening a lot during COVID is people going for short-term cash because the opportunity was there. And if you go for short-term cash, you're not gonna all the rave promoters out here in New York that were doing stuff during COVID are gone. There might be 1 or 2 left.
Can I ask you some like more personal questions about like SynchroEvents? So like what is your gains and losses when you host one of these SynchroEvents?
Okay,
like,
so
you can talk percentages. You don't have to like say money wise and stuff like that. But
yeah, so chop them up. Our first one was about a break even. From there, I went from that. So this is what I'll be completely transparent about SynchroFest.
Yeah, go for it.
We went from that to for some reason to a full-fledged festival. Mm-hmm. Because really it was just the opportunity was there. So I knew like business wise it's never a good thing, you know, you should crawl then walk then run. That's something that Mark Cuban says a lot. Yeah. We took one step, sprinted, and it fell on our plate, fell flat on our faces because I lost about close to 30 between me and my partner. 30,000 on SynchroFest.
Was that because of the artist or the production part? Like where'd you take your loss from? I guess what is the biggest like thing that people lose from and stuff?
So probably, I mean, the biggest was probably like I like for me, I even going into it, like I was almost quasi aware of like how like I was prepared for a loss, not that steep. I was pretty sure we were gonna post a loss, but it was just something that I just felt so compelled to do. And I wanted to make sure that we got the production right. That was very important to me because I wanted this to be a stepping stone. Like I was okay with the financial loss. I mean, it hurt because that was all my savings. It was literally all my savings that I had. But that like if I got the content and the production right, I could use that to build the branding and you know, try to gain more capital for the next one so that's not all self-funded. I mean, that's why I like doing this because it's very parallel to film. Like your first feature film, when you're making a film, it's going to be bare bones budget. It's going to be self-funded. It's going to be like, you know, just the help of your friends. Like all the people, SynchroFest would not have happened if it wasn't for all these people just coming down to help. Like Kat, all this marketing for free.
Yeah, we love Kat. Thank you, Kat, for always being an OG.
One of my best friends, Little Rave Girl, did, you know, she's great at marketing and sales. She did a bunch of stuff. Chris, Allplur, Philly, Subsound, Eli, all these guys came down, all from New York, came down to SynchroFest just to help out on production, on everything. Yeah,
I'm sure it wouldn't have been what it was without them, you know.
Anthony, EDM Train, listed it for free. Shout out to him.
The man, bro. He's the man. Love him.
Yes, you know.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so deep into this EDM world, bro. I know everyone. There's not I don't think there's anyone that I really don't know. That's why I hate saying like, do I know them? Because like I'm so bad with names, but I probably do.
Yeah. But
Anthony actually.
Yeah,
I was at a drive-in rave actually, and I got stuck at the hotel, and I needed to go to a party, and I was like, "Fuck, dude! Like I'm so fucked up right now, and I can't drive. I guess we might have to Uber and stuff like that." I catch Anthony leaving the hotel in the lobby, and like, Anthony, bro, by any chance you want to go to an after party? And I was like, I need a ride, my dude. Bless his heart, man. You know, I need to have him on the podcast actually at some point. I'm gonna definitely extend the invite to him. He's such an OG, man. He's such a good dude. And yeah, he gave me a lift, man. And fucking sweet dude. That was like our first like actual encounter, was one of the driving raves.
Yeah, we did a collab show with his brand EDM Train a couple months ago. That was their first event, and that was like EDM Train was like that's what got me, like how I found out about raves in the beginning, like years ago, was EDM Train. It was all on EDM Train. They're really there, you know, promoting wise, they're amazing.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've had the app before I even knew Anthony and his partner.
Yeah.
But yeah, he introduced me to his partner back at Sunset. I was doing a meetup and they came through and stuff, and then, you know, they introduced themselves. So it's pretty dope. Awesome. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of festivals, man. I'm tired, honestly. I think I've done probably like 10 festivals so far this year.
Wow.
Like, yeah, I'm just exhausted though. I got a couple more coming. I got Imagine, I think, is next. So what's your next one? What about you? What's your next festival? What we got going on in the world of Sean?
I'm staying up here for, it's not EDM festival, but that's what I got booked for, was what's it? Gov Ball. It's there's like they didn't book any EDM this year. You know,
Governor's Ball.
Yeah.
Is it usually like a rap?
Yeah, it's very rap. They got Billie Eilish. I'm hyped for that. Billie Eilish is there, but yeah, it's a lot of rap, a lot of rock. So yeah, but it's local, so I don't have to spend on traveling.
So I have a ticket to Life is Beautiful, and I'm honestly just got it because Billie Eilish was playing. And
Billie,
yeah,
the Netflix film with her.
No,
I don't know if it was
Netflix film. No, I literally just got done watching her Disney Plus film thing.
Disney Plus film.
Yeah, she did about
the making of when we all fall asleep. Where do we go? Was it that documentary of like the making of that album?
Yeah, I think so. It's literally her just throwing all her songs from one album in. So maybe it's something different. I don't know, but it was an entire like thing about one of her albums. It's just her playing songs. She has these really cool like music video things for it. It's like she talks like a little bit in it. So I don't know if it's that, but it was on Disney Plus. I mean, it might also be on Netflix too. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I don't think it was Netflix. It might be the same thing.
Okay, because I literally.
She has that relationship with that guy. Does she go on for Coachella? Like at the end, she goes on stage.
Oh, I only watched the first half. I had another podcast before you, so then I didn't have really time to finish the damn thing.
No, it's a good. But yeah, Billie Eilish is sick.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to go see her at Life is Beautiful, but Aspen gave me a good deal for creating content in exchange for a ticket for Imagine. And I was like, God damn it. I'm like, now I gotta like get rid of my Life is Beautiful ticket, but I always do insurance, so I'm just gonna be sick for Life is Beautiful. I work in the medical.
Find it. No, Frisky.
No, they won't know because I work in the medical industry, so I actually just can write myself my own script for like being sick. Unless they're listening to this now and I'm being snitched, then shit.
You make vlogs, content wise for Imagine? Like, what's the deal there?
Oh, so I'm doing a podcast after festival review. I'm doing
review.
Yep. So I'm gonna bring somebody on and we're gonna talk about like the review of like Imagine. We'll talk about like lineup, stages, production, security, food stands, the people, conflicts, interests, stuff like that. So that we'll just cover everything, but it'll be after the fact, not during or before. But then during, I'll be vlogging. I'll do a vlog per day, and then I am doing TikToks and Reels for during and after the event, before, during, and after the event. And then before the event, since May, I think, I've been promoting Imagine.
Nice.
Just creating content, promoting pictures and stuff like that. So it's like, it was a lot, honestly. Like if you think about it, like people think that I'm, when it comes to like a ticket, you just like promote it for 3 times or something. But I Aspen can be a good deal as long as I like, create a bunch of content. She's gonna hook it up and like, all right, like I'm like, Billie Eilish, I love you, but my girl Aspen, the deal's too good, so I'll catch you in the next one, I guess. Billie Eilish though. I've never seen Billie Eilish live, and I really admire her. And
yeah, same.
it's okay.
I love that. Like she brought it. She has a very like truthful way to her. Like
And everyone loves her for the most part. Everyone loves her. I was
divided. Like it's very love or hate. Like a lot of people just don't get it. You know what I mean? Like
they don't get her artistic value. They think her songs are just super depressing. I'm like, honestly, it's more than just depressive. It's like they're so artistic. Oh my gosh, she has such a talent. And I was at a G-Rex show. Yeah.
To be that mainstream with that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I was talking to G-Rex, right? We were just conversating or whatever. And then I say something about Billie Eilish. She goes, wait, you like Billie Eilish? And I'm like, yeah. Like, dude, she's a go, honestly, 100%. And then he goes, stay right here. Like, I need to show you something. We go through his phone, dude. And he's like pulling up a video of he pulls up a video of him fangirling Billie Eilish from afar, like a creep. And I was like, you didn't go and say hi? Oh no, like security was around. It's like a video of like her back at a zoo.
At a zoo.
Yeah, at a zoo. So she went to a zoo, and he happened to be the same zoo at the same time. And he literally taking a video, like all creep like. And I was like, it's so funny this like you like this like somewhat famous DJ is like fanboying like this other artist. It's just it makes me laugh because it's like now you know how other people feel about you probably. Like when you're so far away and unapproachable, they're like taking videos. You're like, oh my god, G-Rex,
And it's very like yeah. I remember in the film for her it was Justin Bieber. You know what I mean? There's always
isn't that crazy?
It's always gonna be that.
You're always gonna fanboy fangirl somebody, bro. And even if they're like in the same level as you, even at that, like I fanboy fangirl people all the time, and it's like just people I haven't met or I love their content. There was this guy, he creates normal people TikToks. It's not a festival TikToker or whatever. And I've been following him for like the last year or so, and I'm like, dude, like. He followed me back out of nowhere. Like, I'm like, why did you follow me? Like, I'm a festival content creator, not like a regular content creator. He's like, oh, dude, I love festivals. I'm like, what? You're a raper? He's like, mm-hmm. I'm like, bet, bro, bet. I'm like fanboyed so hard, and it's like you just never know, man.
So, how do you feel about like content-wise? Because this is something that go back and forth with. Like, are you sticking with the festival niche?
I am.
You are 100%.
I'm 100% sticking with festival stuff. This is a festival podcast, sticking with festival TikToks, festival reels. Just, I mean, I eat, sleep, breathe, fucking EDM, man. It's just,
yeah.
I'm all about it. I'm balls deep into this world. I've been networking these last few years, just really trying to get like my foot in the door and trying to figure things out. I don't know what my future holds. There's just so many opportunities. Do I want to like, I guess ultimately, right? I want to be like this huge, like festival YouTuber. I want to go to a festival and just YouTube vlogs. And I want like thousands of people to be like watching my shit every day. Just like, this is it. This is what I'm going to do. I vlog my life. People watch it. It's so condescending to think like, oh, wow. Like, yeah, but like, I want to believe that
that's a good goal to have.
I want to believe that I'm funny and cool enough to the point where people want to watch me, and people do. People encourage me, people motivate me. As for SynchroEvents, man, where do you see SynchroEvents headed? Like, what is the end goal?
The end goal. So step by step, 1 to 3 years, I just want to build the event portion. I'm gonna have to. This is background. My room here. I can go into my room. That's.
If you want to, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, again, that McConaughey town is gonna be a struggle. It's not gonna happen. I'm in a six bedroom, so it's not.
Oh, I got a 5-bedroom, and
where are you? You're in Colorado, right?
Colorado, yeah, and
man, right by Aspen.
Yeah, she lives an hour.
Yeah, I give you a little toys.
Hell yeah.
Synchro Fest banner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aspen lives in. I've never been to Aspen's place. But yeah, she lives like an hour north of me, so I see her all the time. During COVID, I saw her a lot because we were at the same raves and stuff. Um, I think during last year, me and Aspen has gotten pretty close, which is like really, really great because I love getting close with like other content creators. It's something that like, and it's more than just trying to be like friendly with other content creators. Like, I generally have like deep talks with like Aspen. Like after the podcast, we talked for like 2 hours straight, 2 hours after the podcast, just talking. And I'm like, it's something that I'm never gonna forget. Like me and her conversating for that long and talking about some real fucking shit, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and that's what I get out of it. That's what I get out of these podcasts. I'm realizing is I'm getting closer to like everybody that I put on the podcast. I get to know them a little more, and we get a little closer. And it's like we're getting to know each other a little better, and it's more than just a couple DMs on the Insta. So
Yeah. Yeah. Like I'm really glad. I mean, I think I just remembered the hug and the pic, and that was it. Like so I'm glad we're doing this because now I'm gonna catch you at the next fest. I don't know.
dude, oh yeah.
How about you going Starbase?
No, I
On
am
Starbase.
I
Snyder's doing her own fest.
yeah, I know. It's just
Come on.
I'm in the middle of moving to Florida next month.
Oh wow.
So I really have a
Where
lot going on right now. I'm gonna be
where you
living in Orlando.
Orlando? You know, I stayed in Apopka. It's like a hour away from Orlando. It's like right north. I stayed in Apopka for like a year.
Hmm.
It's cool. Apopka is
Yeah,
it's a cool spot,
my
especially bass scene. Really good. That's Central Florida. Really good bass and really good rave scene. Honestly.
really great rave scene. My buddy's letting me rent out a room at his house, so I got the hookup with the room. I just gotta like get a good part-time job, and then honestly, I'll probably do content creating on the side, just get a little bit of cash flow in here and there.
Nice.
I got to figure out how to monetize the podcast to get paid by Spotify. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Hoping to get partnered with YouTube soon, so that way I can get a little bit of like a little cash flow here and there.
That's the I think you were when I saw it, you're over 2,000 in subs, right? What are you
No,
at?
no, that's
Right.
I'm at almost 900 for YouTube.
Okay. You gotta hit
Yeah,
1,000. You're almost
1K.
there.
As long as I get 1K, I'm Gucci. I have to check out my views. My views are kind of irrelevant though. I'm sure I'll get the views regardless. Um, but I'm hopefully to get like partnered with YouTube and make money on that side.
Yeah.
Right now I'm doing international like currency trading, and I'm doing like cryptocurrency stuff. So right now I have like a little bit of cash flow. I'm hoping that like everything shoots up by the end of the year, and then I just like transfer that over to another investment, and we'll figure that out. I don't know.
Just let
Um,
Ray- Anita.
What? Don't put me on.
Anita's just crazy. She's kind of
No, I just look crazy right now.
You don't look crazy.
All right. Well, Sean, we are at like an hour, I think, so far. So let's go ahead and get to the like the ending stuff. Where can people find you personally and find your festival brand and all that stuff? Where can they find you and what accounts?
So across platforms, going to be Synchro. You see that on the back. SynchroEvents. Yeah, SynchroEvents, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever, website. Yeah, that's everywhere. Then my personal's the Festival Filmmaker. That's my personal page.
Hell yeah, man. Well, thank you, man. I'm glad we were able to work out you coming onto the podcast. I know we rescheduled. And
That was a lot of fun.
I was trying to make it work in Germany, but honestly, so much was going on in Germany. It probably was a better idea that we did it here anyways when I got home and I could
I
actually.
hope you went to a rave.
What was that?
Did you rave?
I did. I did. I went to a rave in Berlin. It was
Oh,
it was apparently the biggest club in Berlin, and it took me an hour to get inside, but well worth it.
wow. That's so cool.
All right, man. Well, thank you for showing up to the podcast. For all of you listening, thank you for listening to me and Sean ramble for an hour. I hope you guys found this very, very interesting. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you follow the playlist, subscribe if you're on YouTube. I could definitely use that 1K. And until the next episode.